In my early 30s, I had this itch to explore Tokyo. I'd heard about this underground jazz club, a spot where legends played, tucked away in the bustling Shibuya district. Being a jazz enthusiast, the allure was irresistible. So packing up my headphones and vinyl collection, I boarded a plane. After a rather uneventful flight, I checked into a small but cozy Airbnb apartment. The decor was a mix of modern and traditional Japanese aesthetics. Delicate paper lanterns swayed gently from the ceiling, while the scent of matcha filled the air. The first night, I hit the streets to get a feel of the city, but the jazz club was my primary destination the next day. Saturday afternoon, I found myself in a quaint sushi bar. As I was about to dive into my sashimi, a woman, probably in her late 40s, seated next to me, complimented my watch. "It's so unique," she remarked in perfect English. She introduced herself as Yumi and seemed friendly. As our conversation flowed, she told me she was a local, giving me recommendations for places to explore. It wasn't long before I mentioned the underground jazz club. To my surprise, her face turned slightly pale. "Oh, that place," she muttered. "It's got a reputation. Some say it's haunted, while others claim they've seen unusual things there." I chuckled, thinking she was trying to ruffle my feathers. But when she stared deep into my eyes, I realized she wasn't joking. Evening came, and with Yumi's words replaying in my mind, I decided to brave it and head to the jazz club. Finding it was a challenge, hidden beneath layers of neon lights and bustling izakayas. The entrance was an inconspicuous wooden door, but the soulful sounds that emanated were unmistakable. Descending a narrow staircase, I found myself in a dimly lit space. The bar was populated with an eclectic mix of patrons, tourists, musicians, and locals. The energy was infectious, the music sublime. For a moment, Yumi's warnings seemed silly, until she walked in. At the far end of the club, a woman in a white kimono, her face obscured by her cascading hair, sat alone. No one seemed to acknowledge her, but I couldn't shake the feeling that she was out of place. She just sat there, almost fading into the backdrop. Yumi's words echoed in my mind. I tried focusing on the music, sipping on a whiskey to calm my nerves. A local beside me noticed my gaze. "That's Hanako," he whispered. "Legend says she was a singer who died tragically, right here in this club. And now she never really left." My skepticism was beginning to wear thin. Curiosity got the better of me, and I approached Hanako's table. "Excuse me," I began, but she didn't look up. I felt a sudden chill. The music sounded distant, and the world blurred. Next thing I knew, I was outside the club, disoriented and confused. A concerned local was shaking me, asking if I was okay. Apparently, I'd been inside for hours, but it felt like minutes. I thanked the man and staggered back to my Airbnb, my head spinning. Settling in, I decided to run a hot bath. As the water filled the tub, I reflected on the night's events. Was it all a dream? I wondered. But as I prepared to step into the tub, I froze. There, reflected in the bathroom mirror, stood Hanako, her obscured face inches from mine. Terrified, I turned around, but she vanished. I couldn't sleep that night. Every creak of the floorboards, every rustle of the wind, felt like a prelude to another encounter. By morning, I was a nervous wreck. Determined to leave Tokyo behind, I packed hastily. As I exited the apartment, I felt an unexpected weight in my bag. Emptying it out, I found a vintage vinyl labeled Hanako's Lament. I never played that record, nor did I ever return to Tokyo. Some experiences, while unforgettable, are best left in the past.